Hi there, my name is Zenzale. Welcome to my channel, Zen Aesthetic. In this video, I'm going to talk about the latest three fragrances that I have added to my quickly growing Zara fragrance collection. I believe I'm at 17 fragrances so far with these three additions. I'm going to start with one that I've actually had for a few weeks now. The other two that I'm going to talk about, I just recently purchased. So the one that I've had for a few weeks now comes from Zara's Shades of collection. They have Shades of Bliss, they have Shades of Nirvana. I don't know how many complete the Shades collection, but there are quite a few. The one I picked up is called Shades of Joy. So this is what it looks like in the box. Don't know if you can see that. It says Shades of Joy in gold lettering. If you've been watching my channel long enough, you know I love a great looking bottle, and these bottles are really, really beautifully designed. So I was definitely drawn to the bottle first, but then I picked up this fragrance and I sprayed it, and I really, really liked it in the store as well. However, I've had changing opinions about this fragrance since I've had it. Not like I hate it now, but it's changed a little bit. So let me show you the bottle before I redo the notes of Shades of Joy. So here is the bottle for Shades of Joy. And as you can see, it has these raised ridges on the sides. I feel like this is the kind of design that fragrance bottles came in when I was a girl. And, you know, my mom would have this kind of bottle on her vanity. I just really enjoy it. It also feels really nice in the hand because the ridges are actually like raised, and I like that they have just this flat sort of plate on the front that's part of the entire glass bottle for the title. I like it. And this is a small bottle, as you can see. The larger bottles are a bit more squarish, but basically the same design. And again, I love the way the large bottles look as well. So the notes for Zara Shades of Joy are top pink pepper. The mid notes are peony and rose, and the base note is vanilla. And when I sprayed it in the store, I sprayed it directly on my skin, I believe. Oh, I do love this. I do love this fragrance. It's so nice. It reminded me actually of another fragrance from Zara that I absolutely love down. And I've talked about that one on my channel before. That one is By Love. Oh, this kind of gives me that same kind of feeling. So by love, I believe is just three notes. I think it's patchouli, sandalwood, and rose. Let me show you that one. So this is Zara by Love, and this is from their Into the collection. I think this one is Into the Woods. Yeah, I think so. No, it doesn't say it on the bottle, but I think that this is from Into the Woods. And I love this fragrance. I mean, as you can see, this is one of the fragrances that I've been wearing a lot this month. I know I haven't done my November fragrance tray yet. I'll probably just show you what I've been wearing as opposed to what I'm going to be wearing. But this one's gotten a lot of love. I love this fragrance. So when I first smelled this and just smelling Shades of Joy now, it's similar, but it's not exactly the same. I wouldn't say that if you have By Love and you love By Love that you shouldn't also try Shades of Joy. This one's still worth giving a sniff if you like By Love as well. I mean, they both have rose in them, so they're both sort of centered around rose, but this one has vanilla in it. And like I said, By Love is just patchouli, sandalwood, and rose. So this has like, oh gosh, it's just so lovely. It has that bright pink pepper at the top, but it's got rose and peony, which gives it this really feminine floral nature. And then the vanilla, which is at the bottom. And like, I really like this. So, but on paper, it's a little different, or cotton in this case, than it is on my skin. On my skin, it's very sweet at the top. And maybe that is, I don't know, the vanilla coming off right away. I'm not sure. But when I had got it home initially, I wasn't sure if I was smelling the same things I was smelling in the store, because it's just a little different on my skin than it is on paper. Oh man, I really like it though. I will say that if I was to compare how I feel about these two, Zara by Love and Shades of Joy, Zara by Love is an instant love for me. I love it all the time. I love it all day. I can spray myself in this, it lasts for hours. This one I haven't worn out as yet. And I don't know, there's something I can't quite put my finger on about how it smells on my skin that's different and not ideal in the same way as Zara by Love. But that doesn't mean that I don't like it. I'm just sort of like unresolved about my complete impression about it. With By Love, I don't have to worry. Like, it's so good. Like, in the bottle, on the atomizer, on paper, on my skin, it performs great. This one, Shades of Joy, I don't know what I'm getting on my skin that I don't get on a paper or a tester. It's just different. It's a little warmer, which is not to say that it's bad. Maybe it's a little bit more pepperier on my skin. I'm not sure. Jury's still out, but it's a lovely fragrance. I couldn't not purchase it. I purchased it like immediately, but I did get the small size, so I'm glad I didn't commit to something larger. But I do like it. So again, if you like a rose fragrance with that pink pepper at the top, and you liked By Love, I would definitely suggest trying Shades of Joy by Zara as well. So now for the next two fragrances that I recently picked up at Zara. The first one I want to talk about is a re-release. This is not a new fragrance at all. This is a fragrance done in collaboration with Jo Malone. This is, I don't remember when this fragrance was released, but it is called Leather Jardine Exclusive number 4. And this is a fragrance that I heard really great things about. I think it was the perfume guy I was watching, and he was doing a video about some Zara fragrances that I really liked. Maybe it was a ranking video, but this was definitely a love. And I really love the Jo Malone fragrances from Zara that I have so far. I have Vetiver Pamplus, I have Ebony Wood, and one of my all-time favorites, Fashionably London, which is a gorgeous, classy, leathery, elegant rose fragrance. So this is a part of that line. So here is the bottle in the flanker for all of these Jo Malone Zara collab fragrances. So I really love doing first impressions of the Zara and Jo Malone collab fragrances because they all only have 3 notes. They're very simple, very just simple notes, but beautiful fragrances that I have experienced so far. So for Leather Jardine on Fragrantica, the notes for this fragrance read at the top, grapefruit, in the middle, rose, and in the base, leather. Oh, oh, they are not joking about this leather. Wow. And the grapefruit. Ooh, there's almost a bitterness to this. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. There's a strong bitterness to this, which I'm gonna guess is the leather note. I've never smelled such a deep bitter note in a fragrance with leather in it, but it's a lot. It's almost a bit off putting for me. This to me is definitely what I consider to be heavily masculine leaning fragrance. Um, and not so much of the leather because I like a leather note, but just I don't know. This is giving me masculine fragrances circa 1980s. And I know that Perfume Guy tends to like a lot of those like older retro masculine fragrances, and I feel like this really fits the bill. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this one. It has a freshness to it. Maybe it's kind of cologne-y. Yeah, this one is not an immediate love for me at all. I'm not really crazy about the bitterness in it. Mm, I don't know. I mean, it is definitely leather. Jardine, I'm not sure what that means. I'm pretty sure it's French. I'm gonna look it up. As it dries down, it's a little less pungent, but quite it is quite pungent and projects a lot in this bitter leather realm. Whoa. I am going to dare to spray this on my skin just to see if it gives a little something different than what it's giving on the cotton round. That this is definitely to me giving a little bit, not, I don't want to say aftershavey, because aftershave to me is like more fresh, more sort of like aqua velva ish. I don't know if you remember aqua velva. Whereas this is like I said, very bitter. Yeah, this is super masculine. Super masculine retro 80s. The men's fragrances of the 80s and maybe even the 90s are what made me feel like I just did not like the way that masculine fragrances were designed. I just felt like they were all one note. They were too aftershaving, musky, heavy, without a lot of depth and complexity. Just too, it's just sort of like this idea of what a masculine fragrance is. The components were a little bit too macho for me. And I don't think that masculinity has to be defined just in that one way with regards to fragrance. Now I'm picking up the grapefruit a lot, which I don't hate. But I just don't know if this is a fragrance that I would wear on my skin. It's very much a fragrance that I feel would fall comfortably in the category of a masculine fragrance. Yeah, this is not a favorite for me. This is not a favorite for me. If you're a man, you're watching this and you enjoy, these notes, the grapefruit, rose, leather, trust that this is not like a super rosy feminine fragrance. It is not. I can barely pick up the rose right now. Again, this is a first impression, but what I'm getting really, really strongly off the top is that grapefruit and a bitterness that I feel is coming from the leather in the bottom. There is a slight sweetness I'm picking up now, which I'm guessing is from the rose. It's just, mm, I might need some time with this one. First impression, not really a love for me, but again, it's a first impression. I leave room open to the fact that I might change around my feelings about this as I get to sort of like spend some time with it, but this is just not something that I would reach for me. But for a man, absolutely. So I picked up these last two fragrances from Zara together. I purchased them online on Zara's website. And this very last fragrance that I'm going to be talking about is one that I just happened to find on the website by chance. This is the Red Zara Temptation EDP, the Christmas edit. I immediately saw this completely gold bottle and was like, what's this? This is completely new. And then I just double checked Fragrantica. I looked on YouTube to see if there was any reviews about it. Nothing. Nowhere. Nothing. So without further ado, let me just show you what this box looks like and tell you more about this fragrance and the notes, because I'm kind of shocked that I haven't heard anyone talk about it. I haven't seen anyone even mention it. So this is what the box looks like. Again, this is Red Zara Temptation EDP. And it basically, that's all it says on the box. It doesn't say Christmas on the box. It doesn't say Christmas on the bottle. It just says Christmas edit on Zara's website. And then they go into the description and the notes of it, which are different from all the other Zara Red Temptation, all the I don't know, hundreds of Red Temptation versions that Zara has put out. I currently have Red Temptation Winter, Red Temptation Sweet, Red Temptation Vanille, and then something called Love Explosion, which I think is a combination of a rose fragrance by Zara and Red Temptation. So if you haven't been following my channel for a while, I like Red Temptation a lot. So let me just show you this bottle. They just took this glass cylinder bottle that they usually put out for many of Zara's fragrances, covered it completely in gold. And I just think it's really elegant and beautiful and lovely, especially for Christmas. Now, I've been in a Zara store recently and saw that this is actually on the shelves. They also have Golden Decade in this golden bottle and a couple of other fragrances. And I have saved this until now to do a first impression for you. I have not opened it, I haven't sniffed the atomizer, I have not smelled this fragrance. So let me read you the notes and then we'll go into my first impression. So it says, one of our best sellers in a Christmas edit, perfect for gift giving. This eau de parfum features warm notes of saffron and coriander with a fruity punch of bitter orange. The sensuality of jasmine is enhanced by a modern praline accord, while moss and musk intermingle in a trail of femininity. Okay. I'm in. I'm in. So first I'm just gonna see if I can smell anything of this fragrance on the atomizer. Okay, I'm not picking up anything. Oh, 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 I just got that Red Temptation DNA, girl. I love this. Freaking. I can't say enough about how much I love this freaking fragrance. So I get the Red Temptation, I get the saffron, I'm getting a little bit of alcohol. So I'm just waiting for that to dry down a bit. Yeah, it's a very, I don't know, airy, that alcohol. I'm just waiting for that to kind of like burn off because I'm not a fan. But what I'm getting, it just sort of smells like the Red Temptation, like just Red Temptation, not Red Temptation Winter or any of the others, just like pure Red Temptation. I'm just trying to pick up on the other notes, which I'm not really able to do on this. So I'm going to spray it on my skin. Okay. Now, I mean, I'm just going to overspray. Might as well. So, like I said, I was getting the sweetness of the Red Temptation fragrance, which I love. Oh, ooh. Oh, you guys, the alcohol in this, the alcohol content is way over the top. So ugh, I hate that. I hate that. So that sucks. Mm. This is nice though. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to get myself together. I need to gather myself. This is why I don't do first impressions too much because I'm all emotion. I'm trying to tell you what it is I'm picking out. I mean, the Red Temptation fragrance, if you love the Red Temptation, is there. It's beautiful, it's sweet. The saffron is there. As for the jasmine and the bitter orange, I'm not picking up anything particularly bitter. This is making me feel like the first feeling that I had when I smelled Red Temptations are for the first time, which is that I love it. And I just wish there was more projection. I wish it was stronger. Because this is one that you're going to have to like really overspray, and who knows if that's going to work or if it's going to last. Because I'm telling you, this leather Jardine is kicking ass. It is like, woo, child. This is a dad's fragrance. I have to say, it reminds me a little bit of English leather, and that was a strong fragrance as compared to this, which is a beautiful fragrance, but it's just not okay. It's starting to come a little. It's starting to develop a little bit more now, but I wish it would just kick the door down a little bit more, just come through a little bit more faster. I just can't say that I'm picking up that much of a distinction from the other notes in this Red Temptation fragrance, like coriander, jasmine, bitter orange. I get Red Temptation. I get saffron. Oh my God. When you get the hit, like if you are a Red Temptation fan like I am, when you get that hit and it wafts up into your nose, oh, it's so good. I don't know. Christmas edit's not giving me what I want. It's a beautiful fragrance. Ooh, it's so nice. But to me, it's almost like I just bought a big bottle of Red Temptation, another bottle of Red Temptation from Zara, as opposed to something that is so much more special and distinct. Do I have hopes that this will maybe change and macerate and get a little stronger and I can pick up more of these other notes that I would love to pick up? The coriander, the jasmine, the bitter orange, the modern praline. I mean, I do get a sweetness from this. Yes, I hope that it gets stronger. But can I recommend this? Like, do I feel like you should run out and get it? If you're a Red Zara Temptation freak like me, you probably want to get your nose on this. Fortunately, it is in Zara stores, so hopefully there's a local Zara around you where you can just go and smell this first before you make a purchase like I did online. Because I was just like, what? I've never heard of this before. Put it in the cart along with the Joe Malone one, which was already in my cart. So I didn't, these were both blind buy purchases for me. Let me just spray a little bit more. For too many seconds, this just gives this high alcohol content, which is just very disappointing. But when it dries down, there is this beautiful Red Temptation fragrance along with some sweetness. Um, but it doesn't I couldn't say like, oh wow, this is so different from a Red Temptation Winter. I mean, I do feel like this is stronger, but this is not a huge standout to me in terms of its being a different kind of Red Temptation fragrance from Zara. that's my story. That's my story on this. So it's a bit disappointing. I'm not sorry that I have it because I do I do love the Red Temptation fragrance. Maybe I'll layer this with Red Temptation Winter or one of these other Red Temptation fragrances that I have. But do I feel like you absolutely need to have this Red Temptation EDP that just kind of popped up out of nowhere? I don't think that you need to run out and get this if you have any of the other Red Temptation fragrances that I've mentioned. If you got winter, you don't really need this. Um, in fact, I would say if you have Red Temptation winter in particular, you don't really need this one because this is just better. And if you have Red Temptation and Vanille. This one stands out. This one is not like the other Red Temptation fragrances. Even Red Temptation Sweet, Red Temptation Sweet is better and has more projection than this one. And Love Explosion, of course, is really defined by the rose in it and the Red Temptation. So I think that this is pretty distinct as well. But yeah, I don't know. I had high hopes for this, obviously. It's not giving the projection that I wanted to. It's not giving the projection that I think it should give. It's not giving the projection that Red Temptation Winter gives. So, if you were one of the people who were excited to see my review of this Christmas edit of Red Temptation Zara, I hope it's not too disappointing, but hopefully you get something out of this video before you went and picked it up so you can make your own decision about whether or not you actually want to purchase this fragrance or not. I will say again that if you don't have Red Temptation Winter or any other Red Temptation fragrance, it's worth giving this a try. It's a nice sort of, as they say, version of Red Temptation, specially released for Christmas, but it's not the best one. It's not the best one. Again, I will definitely follow up on if anything changes with this, if it gets stronger, if I start to pick up more notes from it. But at this time, not one that I would absolutely run out and get if I were you and you don't already have it. So that is it for my review of the latest 3 fragrances that I've added to my Zara fragrance collection. Again, I am at 17 fragrances from Zara. I don't regret picking this up. As I said, I will definitely be still getting use out of this fragrance. I wish it didn't have so much alcohol at the top. Maybe if I let it sit and macerate for a while, maybe that'll go away. Maybe if I spray it a few times and then just let it sit, it will develop differently. I don't know, but I have it and I am absolutely not regretting that I picked it up. I don't want to sell it. I will definitely be keeping it if for no other reason than this gold bottle. I feel like this is a really nice sort of collector's item bottle that I really enjoy. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section below if you have heard about this Red Zara Temptation Christmas edit anywhere on the internet. If anyone has brought it up, if you knew about it before you watched this video, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you liked it. And I hope to see you in my next video soon. Bye.